Hey, we are starting. Just two of us. Hopefully, we get a third one soon. Julius just said he's got some stuff going on, but we're hoping to get him on right now. He sent a thumbs up, so at least we know he's alive. We are the Honolulu Blues. I am Nick Faber. That is Adam Stark, not to be confused with Tony Stark's brother, because he might look just like him, but he's a lot smarter and a lot richer. That's that Adam right there. Adam, we are doing a kind of a smaller show. I would say more of a rapid show today. So we're not going to go over all these things. The Pistons are in kind of a downfall right now. The Red Wings are in a battle. The Tigers got Tarek Subel pitching for USA. But if you want to hear about any of that, you got to tune in on Thursday, because we're not talking about any of that today, Adam. We are talking strictly Lions. They have been flying through free agency, 48, not even 48 hours in yet. Do you have a grade? I'm coming at you. You aren't even ready for this, but I'm firing at you. Do you have a grade?
I give it a B. I think it's been all right. Tomorrow, once we see all the restructures happen, because I do believe we are going to restructure Goff, maybe someone else. It's all going to come in tomorrow, which is the deadline of restructure options. And I think that'll bump it up to a B+. But yeah, no splash signings. We've made some good cuts, I think, and let some decent guys walk. But overall, I haven't been disappointed in any aspect on offense, I should say. Defense, we need to add someone on defense.
We have to add someone on defense, and we'll get to it here in a minute. I do want to give my grade, which is similar to yours because of a lot of the same reasons. I'm going with a B right on the dot, because I am not mad with the guys we have got. In fact, it seems like more than a lot of other Lions fans are happy with what we have brought in so far. But we've also let enough players go. And on the defensive side, we have added not a single person outside of re-signing guys or getting people back like automatically, like Levi Onwuzurike or Josh Pascal, to make a splash, to make me say, no, this is an A free agency so far. And I wouldn't argue if someone came up to me and was like, this is a C. I would argue if someone said it was like a D or lower, but if you're given like just an average score, I think that's very fair. But let's talk about why we're getting to these grades. The Lions, right out the gate, before free agency started, traded away David Montgomery for some picks and Juice Scruggs. Are you a fan of the trade for David Montgomery? I wasn't able to talk about it. I don't know if you guys did a show without me, but we haven't been able to converse about it, you and me. So I'm curious on what you think about David Montgomery. I know it's a little bit of old news, but we're just going to touch on it real quick.
Hindsight now, you can factor in the guys we added free agency, 2 offensive linemen, and a new running back. So factoring all that in, I like it. I think it was a solid move. We got a 4th, 7th depth offensive lineman who actually looked a little better than he seemed. Julius, what is going on?
What is up, Julius?
But yeah, so and then we got Pacheco, and it's sad to see Monty go. He was one of those guys. It was sad to see Jamal Williams go, but if it's for the benefit of my Detroit Lions, so be it. I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to let my heart take over and say it was something terrible.
Yeah, I loved the trade, and I loved David Montgomery so much so that I never bought a jersey through our 2023 to 2025 run, but it would have always been a Montgomery jersey because I loved him so much, and I couldn't come to like buying a jersey for the Lions. It's hard for me to buy jerseys, but if it was going to be one, it was going to be Montgomery. So it's sad to see him go, but I think the Lions fleeced the Texans. I love Drew Scruggs, and I love the chance for him to revitalize himself. But Julius, Adam just brought him up, so we replace Montgomery, and I do want to hear what you think about David Montgomery losing. Keep in mind, Julius, I know you're new to the show for today. It's rapid fire today, so we don't need a whole lot, but I want a little bit. What do you think about David Montgomery being traded? But also, we brought in Isaiah Pacheco. What do you think about that move?
Honestly, I think the skill sets definitely match. Pacheco's a player. It's not hard to see him having success with Hank Fraley and the running game, the way we coordinated here. However, is he an adequate replacement for David Montgomery? I would say yes, he is, because we are replacing a running back too. We're not replacing Jahmyr Gibbs. So for that point alone, I am totally okay with it. And I would not be surprised if we added a rookie running back to the mix, because it's not going to be a committee. We're looking for somebody who could spell Jahmyr Gibbs, somebody who can get us tough yards that Demo used to get us. And Pacheco, he definitely could be a guy that can fill that role. I just don't know what his injury history and coming from Kansas City if he's ready. But I do like it. The price is not bad at all. I think it's a 1-year deal, right? 1 year.
Yeah, I didn't get confirmation.
Money hasn't been out yet, but I've been hearing it's a 1-year deal.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine it's long term. I remember Demo. We signed him like a 3-year deal, and then we gave him a 3-year extension. See, I don't see that kind of long-term commitment with Pacheco, but I do like it if the price is a 1-year prove it type deal. I'm totally okay with it.
So, Adam, do you think are you surprised that we brought in Pacheco? I know you were a big Tyler Algier adversary. No, I can't talk. Don't worry about me. But you wanted Tyler Algier. But are you surprised that we brought in Pacheco or a backup running back in general with the idea of having Sion Vaki on our team? Do you think that do you still think he can win running back too? Where does he play into this mix?
No, I don't. In fact, he might be a cut candidate for me, depending on some of these picks and some of these rookies, because we got a lot of picks. If Brad Holmes doesn't make any trades, we'll see what happens. But I like Pacheco. I've always liked him from Kansas City. He was phenomenal in 2023, got injured in 24 and 25, broke fibula in a sprained MCL, and it kind of derailed him. And he played pretty bad last year. He was like bottom 5 running back, but I've seen that he's a great pass blocker. I think Jeremy Reisman posted a stat on him that he was a great pass blocker. And for what we want him to do, I think it's perfect, because we don't need him to get explosive 50-yard touchdown runs. We don't need him to get, 7 yards off the first down carry. It's like we need 1 to 3 yards time to time and good pass blocking.
And you took the words right out of my mouth. That's how I was going to cap Isaiah Pacheco, was talking about how the big factor for me wasn't David Montgomery's running ability and the latter end here. It was his blitz pickup, his pass blocking. He's better than Jahmyr Gibbs by a mile. And that was going to be tough. Montgomery, not being there on first down, second down, where they blitz, but we aren't going to run the ball because we're not trying to just run it on every first down. We need someone to pick up those blitzes. Pacheco is very good at that. And then Pacheco also, I believe, last year did finish 8 for 8 on 4th and 1 rushing attempts. Just goes to show he is ready to take over. In my opinion, I think this is an upgrade. And I understand people will look at last year's stats from Pacheco and they'll look at what David Montgomery meant to Detroit and write this off saying this is a David Montgomery light 2.0 and not going to be sustainable for our team. But I think that's asinine. I think that's the wrong way to look at it. I think you need to look at Isaiah Pacheco runs just like Dan Campbell wants a running back to run, and you add in the way Drew Petzing and his form with running, and that's going to help Gibbs. But I'm just saying when it comes to a running back 2 situation, and we know we'll use him, I think he's going to be pretty good. I would hate to see Sion Vaki cut, though, Adam. That would be a bummer. But we're going to move on. We got a lot of offensive linemen. We're going to start with you, Adam, with the main guy, and that's Cade Mays. Center replacement. And now every NFC team in the North Division is replacing a center. It's kind of crazy if you ask me, but the Lions did so as well. And they got Carolina center Cade Mays, who I am the biggest fan of. But Adam, I want to hear what you have to think about him first. What do you got to say?
I really like it for the price too. It's 3-year, $25 million. We saw Linderbaum go for $27 million, which was out of the Lions' price range. But if you compare them, Linderbaum's not that much better. Yeah, is he definitely better? Yeah, but like for that $17 million difference, I don't know. So I like it. He's a big dude, 6'6", like 325. He's a good pass blocker, decent run blocker. But it now with the guys we've signed, our current offensive line average heights, it's at 6'5". So we have some big boys up front, which I love.
That's the best. And Julius, other than him, we also ended up getting Larry Borum. I think his name's Borum. Thank you. I'm about to call him Larry Broom. That's a shout out to Adam. But Larry Borum from Miami. So I want to hear your thoughts on Cade Mays. Also, if you have any thoughts on Larry Borum, who is more of a depth guy, did get some starts with the Dolphins. But both the guys, Julius, welcome to the show. Let me hear everything you got to say about everybody.
So off my first reaction, I wasn't that excited about these offensive lineman signings. I actually didn't know who Cade Mays was. However, after a day to learn more about the player and about the signing, it seems like the Carolina did not mean to actually not re-sign him and lose him. They have a hole at center now. He was a very decent starting center for Carolina, and evidently he's the Dan Campbell guy. And like everybody is saying, oh my God. So it kind of makes sense when you look at the signings. You can kind of see how Dan Campbell maybe got in Brad Holmes' ear with a lot of these players. I hope that is an effective strategy. Now, I'm not saying I don't like Cade Mays, that he's not going to be a good center. It's just that I hope we're just not selecting guys just based off how tough they are on film. But that's neither here or there. Real quick to Larry Borum, also kind of unexciting for me. However, he is a local guy. I believe he went to Brother Rice. So he does have ties to the area, and he will provide adequate depth. We need all the depth we could use, especially at offensive tackle. So I'm really like an average B- grade on these offensive lineman signings. I'm not really stoked. Maybe Cade Mays will grow on me in training camp. It's just I'm traumatized, guys, when it comes to the offensive line in this city.
That's fair.
So I can't promise you that I'm support every move. I have to see maybe the draft. I just need a good follow up, see what we do at guard and at tackle in the draft, and then add that on to the Mays and Borum signings, and I'm sure I'll feel real good going to training camp.
I got you. See, I feel like Cade Mays was a vital part in the reason that Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle were some of the best fantasy running backs in the league and best running backs overall the last 2 years. Now, it's not just a Cade Mays thing, but I think like if you looked at the last couple of years, Carolina's running game, passing game, they had no reason being good. They had no reason being just one game away from making it to the playoffs. Did they make the playoffs?
They made the playoffs. They lost. They almost beat the Rams. They beat them in the first half. Right. The Rams came back and
And they did beat the Rams earlier in the season. All I'm saying is not all of that is due to Cade Mays, but when you have a center like that, you know who he's kind of reminded me of right now? It's like when we got so excited when we did our mock draft and Indiana's center was there in like the third round, and we were like, this is the kind of guy the Lions need, a true grit player. That's kind of what Cade Mays is like, but experienced, knows what he's doing. So I am loving Cade Mays. The addition of him for so much less than what Tyler Linderbaum went for is awesome. Now, if you were to ask me, do I think the Raiders overpaid for Linderbaum? I don't think so. I think they have a rookie quarterback coming in, and they will have 5 years on a rookie quarterback contract, and they have the money to spend on guys. You want to have a strong, smart, maybe the best center in the game, much like Fernando Mendoza had in Indiana. Get him a good center. He can be successful. They had the money and opportunity to spend up for Linderbaum. I do not think they overpaid for him. However, if the Lions were to have paid what Linderbaum got for Linderbaum, I do think it would have been an overpayment because we are paying a quarterback $1 bazillion right now. We are paying a lot of guys a lot of money. So ultimately, I like him. I also like the Larry Borum trading. Was it trade? Was it a sign?
It was a sign.
It was a sign. I don't know why I was thinking trade for a sec. I like that. I don't mind depth. If you have starting experience, that is much better than sending out whoever the fuck we had starting for us week 16 and 17, because I don't even know who they were, and I don't think anyone does either. Ultimately, those were who we signed. If you missed it, go catch up on the show. We're going to recap real quick who we lost. We ended up losing so far. Oh, I lost my list. It was like Alex Anzalone. He's gone. Amik Robertson's gone. Kyle Allen's gone. Taylor Decker's gone. David Montgomery's gone. Glasgow's gone.
And
Roy Lopez. Okay, so out of those names, I'm going to start.
Amik,
Amik, if I didn't say, I'm sure. Adam, we're going to start with you. Give me 2 names that you want to talk about from people who left us.
Let's go Roy Lopez. I think that he played great for what he signed with the Cardinals. Why couldn't we make that offer? And then outside of him, I'm honestly not too mad. So I guess I'll turn to what raises a question now. I'm going to go backup quarterback. We lost Kyle Allen to the Bills, and there's some okay free agents out there. We saw Geno Smith go to the back to the Jets. I think Carson Wentz, which these are,
the funniest meme real quick of Geno Smith being his Jets tenure, and it's Homer Simpson who's in a car falling down a cliff, and he jumps out of the car, rolls, and then rolls back into the car, and then realizes he's in the car and screams and falls off the cliff. And it's like, that's the perfect Geno meme. Sorry to cut you off, Adam. It just made me laugh.
But yeah, so we just need a backup quarterback. I think we should add a veteran. I wouldn't want to trust like a 6th-round rookie if Goff were to go down in any game, honestly.
Julius, give me 2 names. It can be the same names, just 2 guys about that we lost that you want to talk about.
Well, I would say one, I want to talk about losing Khalif Raymond.
Oh, Khalif is the other guy I mentioned.
Right,
yes.
Our all-pro kick returner. I mean, this guy brought me a lot of joy the last 3 or 4 seasons. I got to meet him this past summer at St. Brown's camp. Great guy, great friend and teammate of a lot of guys that we love that's still on the team. Hate to see him go. Shout out to Khalif Raymond. He was even playing spot receiver at times. He had just come out and just show up for us. So I feel like we're going to miss a guy like that. And then number 2, also, I shout out Roy Lopez. I didn't think we were going to let him go and go back to Arizona after 1 year. I was like, huh? What kind of mafia deal is this, bro? But I guess I would say Anzalone. I mean, he's been here with Campbell and Goff from the beginning of the rubble. And now that face is gone. That captain is gone. And it passes on to Jack Campbell, more than capable. But shout out, we just re-signed. Did we talk about re-signing Malcolm Rodriguez?
Not yet. No, we did not, actually.
Yeah, because that kind of goes into losing Anzalone. We let him walk, but we brought back Rodrigo, who we know can have a place in this defense when healthy. So shout out to Khalif Raymond, man, and shout out to Alex Anzalone.
I loved it. You guys touched on all the big guys. It's all crazy. It's gonna be weird not seeing Thor back there. If we don't play Tampa, but if we end up seeing him in the playoffs or something like that, to see Anzalone on the other side, that would be nuts. Taylor Decker, friend of the show, released on his onward and upward. I guess he's still playing. He is a free agent, so we're gonna see if someone signs him. I kind of would be mind boggled if he got more than I think people understand that he is on a far decline and very injury prone. I don't think he's going to get a lot of attention, but he was a friend of the show. He was nice enough to take an hour out of his life one day and come talk to 3 random fans that just had no idea what we were doing. So that was just an awesome experience. I loved Taylor Decker from that moment, even before that moment, 10 years as a Lion. So, it's going to be interesting what we do at left tackle, whether that'll be Sewell moving over. And if you want to hear our thoughts on if we think Sewell should move over or will move over, make sure you tune in later on this week on Thursday or Friday when we do an actual big show, kind of basically some trickle-down effects from these free agents. We won't talk about the free agents, but what could happen for the team and what we'll be looking forward to the rest of free agency along with the draft. Like I said, this was just going to be a rapid show. If you want more, if you're just salivating, suckling at the teat to get more Honolulu Blues, make sure you come later this week. We will be here to give you more thoughts. I can't even talk anymore. Adam, just close us up, dude.
Check us out at Honolulu Blues _. We're posting all the free agency news. We'll have the Goff restructure. One moment Shefty posts it, we'll get a quote tweet, some quick thoughts. Everything that's going on with the Lions, check it out, Honolulu Blues. Boys, as always,
go Lions.
Lions! Oh, forward down the field, boys. Are we going to get Trey Henderson?
All right, so one of you guys end this.
Adam can't end it.